Welcome to the Williamsville Live Wire broadcast here at Beardstown High School. It's beautiful, and it's a beautiful night for a regional semifinal. Let's go ahead and take a look at our bracket once again here on the Williamsville Wire. The crew that we've been having: Colin Burge, Nathan Simcoe, Kyle Hubner, and on technology, Gavin Scheffler. So looking at this bracket yesterday, Alton Marquette defeated Pleasant Plains in a tough battle. Also, Taylor Rockridge took down Peoria Notre Dame by 3 points, 31-28. So that was yet another game there that was very good. So we got two more games tonight. Obviously here at Beardstown, Auburn playing Williamsville, and Peoria Manual playing Macomb as well. That's in Canton. Guys, what's the feels?
You know, we come into this game off an 8-point loss at home to Auburn. And what really stood out to me, and I know we've talked about this a couple times, is the fact that Auburn had 22 turnovers, and they still managed to find a way to win. That shows to me a good, complete team that Seth McCoy has put together here at Auburn. But for Williamsville, you come in being the underdogs. Once again, you were underdogs, presumably for QND, underdogs for Riverton. You know, you lost to them as well in regular season. But this is the postseason, and anything can happen. So Williamsville applying this 1-2-2. Let's see if they're able to create the same turnovers. But this time, let's see if they're able to capitalize on the offensive end as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, off those 22 turnovers, I mean, Williamsville didn't capitalize. They didn't finish on fast breaks. They missed a bunch of threes. Weren't hot at all. I mean, if the Bullets make half the shots they took in that game and convert on half the fast breaks that they had off turnovers, that game is a 6-point game in Williamsville's favor, a 6 to 8 point game in Williamsville's favor. So anything can happen tonight. I mean, that game's not a great representation of this matchup tonight because Williamsville played, I'm going to say it, not very good. So, I mean, we'll see what happens tonight, but this one definitely has more pressure than that one.
Taking a look at last time against Auburn, Braden Scott had 7, Braden Sailing with 11, Brody Newhoff 2, Garrett Timm, that was one of his first games ever starting, he had 6, Kohler with 2, Brecken Thomas with 9, and Jackson Sanders rounds out the Bolts scoring with 2 points. So, but those scoring should have been a lot higher. You know, you should have capitalized. They should have easily had 50 points when it was all said and done.
And I tell you, part of the reason that Auburn also won was they had 18 offensive rebounds. They are a much bigger team than Williamsville down low, and Kohler wasn't able to handle it last time, which kind of proved to be fatal in the game. They got so many second chance points that they were kind of able to mask how many turnovers they had offensively. So for Carson Kohler and Reed Bodine, the two big men that'll probably be in the middle tonight, they need to emphasize defensive rebounding so Auburn doesn't get second chances, because we have been turning turnovers into points these last 2 games within this 1-2-2, but it all comes down if you could get the ball in the first place. So Kohler and Reed are both going to have a big night here tonight.
Yeah, obviously the 1-3-1 has been killer for these teams. We ran it against Auburn, and as you can see, we got 22 turnovers out of it. So that's what if you're Coach Beard, you say play the exact same way you played that night, just finish at the rim. And obviously a lot more pressure on this one, but as we've seen in QND and Riverton, they came out strong, and they came out ready to go, fired up, loose. So I mean, that's the goal tonight. Don't change anything. Keep playing how you're playing, and go leave it all out there. And if you lose, I mean, they're just a better team.
The key tonight for me is obviously the defense. I think last time our defense played good, but now that Auburn has seen it, you know, are they going to be able to kind of get their offense rolling through the 1-3-1? If not, if Williamsville's having success, even though Auburn has seen it, I think Williamsville is in great shape, because I think we are playing a lot better. I think our offense is playing a lot better. You know, that Auburn game, we just beat like Porta, but that was after the struggle against Prairie Central, where our offense was absolutely stagnant. So I like Williamsville right now. You know, I think they're a really fun team to watch, and I think if they're able to get energy early, where we talk about how they come out early, if Williamsville early is capitalizing off turnovers by Auburn, that's a great sign.
And like you said, they are hot, but as soon as you get deeper and deeper into this IHSA postseason, teams are winning, and they're winning at a consistent pace, and they're also riding the hot hand. So when they clash and it's always about who can produce better offensively. We know defense travels. Obviously, that's probably why the main reason we have a regional championship right now is our 1-2-2 press. But for Williamsville, they're going to have to do the other thing. They're going to have to score offensively. Braden Saling's going to have to get going. Really didn't have a good game against Riverton, but still won because Garrett Timm, obviously, second shooter, scoring 15 points, 5 threes in that.
Reed at 12.
Reed Bodine with 12 points. So, I mean, this Williamsville team can score from multiple different areas. It's all about putting the pieces together. And if Saling adds to what they already built upon last game, then it could be a scary bullet offense. And with that 1-2-2, they could be dangerous.
100%. And, I mean, even though the Auburn game, the time we played them before was, 2 weeks ago, this is a completely different Bullets team. I mean, they came out against Tri-City and was a completely different team. And then they came out against QND, and it was the same thing. Riverton, same thing. So, I mean, Auburn's been winning as well. They've been winning all year. But the Bullets, this is a completely different team from my viewpoint. But this is going to be a good game tonight. I think it's going to be really close and come down to the wire.
No doubt about it. I think Auburn, they're so fundamentally sound. I think that's different about Auburn than a lot of other teams in the conference, even like, New Berlin. I think they're fatal. The reason that they weren't able to win a regional this year was because they make too many mistakes. I think they make a lot of mistakes on rebounding. I think they made a lot of mistakes turning the ball over, and I think that killed them. And Auburn is a lot different. At the beginning of the year, we were like, well, we know New Berlin has talent. Well, they're not as fundamentally as sound as Auburn is, and I think that's something that separates Auburn from a lot of teams in the Sangamo, and that's a reason they're playing here in sectionals.
And that's all Seth McCoy. Seth McCoy is a great basketball coach. He's been here. How many years has he been at Auburn, Nathan?
Several.
And they've put together winning seasons. This one's probably his best, if I had to assume.
It's the best year in Auburn history.
Yeah, best year in Auburn history, and no doubt Seth McCoy has made this team just a fundamental basketball team that does all the right things. And they don't talk a whole lot. They just do everything the right way. And he's built a great program over here. So, and Nick Beard has too. Nick Beard's done the same thing. They play the game the right way. They play the game hard. Sometimes they get into turnover trouble, but most of the time they're fundamentally sound. So it's two really good basketball teams battling out for a chance to play in the sectional championship.
All right, we got Anthem coming up. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for tip-off for about 2 minutes till then. We'll be back.
Potentially.
Welcome back to the Williamsville Wire, once again sponsored by Elite Lawn Care, Wade Muller at Westtown Ford, and Top Tier Springfield. Take a look at our starters, same starters we've been seeing. Garrett Timm, Braden Sealing, Brecken Thomas, Ray Bodine, and Carson Kohler. The starters for Auburn will be number 3. I feel like I'm talking, but it's super loud in this gym.
It's super loud.
Carter Hundley, number 3. Number 5, Clayton DiNardo. Number 10, Cooper Carter. Number 24, Grant Dobson, the big man. Number 33, kind of your power forward, Clayton Kessler.
It is extremely loud.
Yep.
The atmosphere is really good here in Beardstown. A really cool gym, actually. Never been here before.
I'd say Auburn brought more fans over to
Yeah, it's debatable.
I'd say they did.
Yeah, they
Look at how big their side is compared to
Yeah, and they have fans over here.
Yeah,
So.
so I'd say Auburn brought more, so whatever.
But the Bullets will still win. The Bullets will still win.
I do like the matchup scene here. One of my wild cards to watch here is Braden Scott. Braden Scott was able to, get inside and penetrate the ball when necessary against Auburn last time. And off the bench, if he's able to provide some scoring and able to run the 1-2-2, it should be fun.
Kessler to jump with Kohler. Kessler will win it, and it's in the hands of number 3, Carter Hundley. This time, Cooper Carter guarded by Brecken Thomas here in this 1-3-1. He'll work it to a wide-open Kessler. Kessler guarded by Sailing, and Bodine will work it back towards the middle. He works it back to Cooper Carter. From Kessler, Kessler now guarded, getting a count. He'll get it back out to Carter. Carter will turn it over. It's Kohler to Thomas. And now it's Bodine. Bodine swinging to Sailing. Sailing thought about shooting, giving to Brecken Thomas. Thomas to Timm. Timm pulls from 3, and he nails it.
Huge shot. Like we saw last game, Garrett Timm getting into the scoring column early that time. Obviously with the 3, he's a very good shooter, has definitely steamed onto the roll here late.
DiNardo swings to Carter. He pulls from 3.
No
Shot
good.
no good. Not able to tie it out of bounds. Off Carson Kohler. So Auburn gets a break, and they get it back.
Yeah, it was a close one. But, I mean, as we've seen,
Gotta secure it.
the Bullets
Gotta
start with the
secure it.
turnover, and like we didn't see last game, they capitalized on it. Got a big 3. Big start.
DiNardo swings it back to Hundley. Hundley to DiNardo. DiNardo to an open Carter in the corner, pulling from 3. Shot no good. It's Kessler and yet another rebound. We saw the Auburn rebounding last game, but he turns it over to the hands of Thomas. Thomas to Kohler. He loses it out of bounds, and it's back-to-back turnovers for the big man for the Bullets.
Yeah, that's not something that can happen. Carson Kohler has to corral the ball. He can't get it stolen, and obviously we talked about in the pregame the offensive rebounding. Auburn already grabbing one early.
Here's Carter swinging out to Hundley. Hundley punished the Bullets last time. He had near 20 points. Carter wide open, pulls from 3. He nails it. If you keep leaving him wide open, eventually he will hit it, and he does there. He ties the game.
He'll stay in that weak side corner, and they'll use that cross-court pass, which is the most vulnerable one in the 1-2-2 to hit an open 3.
Timm open in the right quarter, pulling from 3.
Bang.
He nails it, and he's got 6 early in this one.
Yeah, so it's pick your poison. Garrett Timm or Braden Sailing. This time they're electing to guard Braden Sailing. Garrett Timm making him pay.
He's got a hot hand right now. Hundley working down, and it's going to be Dobson. Shot no good, but the foul is called. And I feel like there was pick up his first.
I feel like there was a foul on the floor there, but I don't know if there was a foul on the way up. But there was definitely a foul on the floor before that.
I would agree with that.
Bodine made a lot of contact there.
Can't have sloppy play to start.
Yeah, he's not the best free throw shooter either, so sending him to the line isn't the worst thing.
So Dobson misses his first, and you'll take that any day, but Kohler's going to have his hands tied with him. Just as big and just as strong as Kohler is. We'll see how they're able to corral rebounds and score inside.
Dobson hits the second. 6-4 as the Trojans get a score there, but Sailing has it. He'll work it into the front court. This time loosely guarded by number 10, Cooper Carter. Now it's Brecken Thomas has it. He's guarded by Hundley. Swings it to Kohler. Kohler to Sailing. Sailing near the key. Giving to Garrett Timm. He pulls a deep 3.
Good.
Shot no good. Thomas pulls the rebound down and tries to go to work. Foul's called, and 2 shots coming up for BT.
I don't know about that foul call. I think it was straight up, but Thomas nonetheless initiating the contact offensively. Usually the offensive player gets rewarded. You see that in high school, college, and in the NBA. That time Thomas will have 2 at the charity stripe, and these 2 are important to set up what might be, well, what won't be his last trip to the line.
No doubt. Hits
I'm
the first.
Not sure if there was, like you said, Colin, a lot of contact there, but he initiated it, and I mean, the ball went straight up in the air, so would have been a terrible shot if no foul was called, but thank God.
Jacob Barth works in for the Trojans. Saw a lot of him last time. DiNardo to the bench as Thomas strokes both the free throws and pushes the Bullets lead up to 4.
Those are 2 huge free throws.
Cooper Carter swings it to Barth, who's fresh in the game. He'll swing it back to Carter. Carter loosely guarded, now to Barth. Barth swings to Hunley. Hunley drives in, now back out to Barth. Barth swings to Kessler. Kessler thought about shooting the mid-range jumper, but he traveled, and the Bullets get it back.
So 3 early turnovers to start, and Williamsville so far has been capitalizing, but never say never, and keep this offensive consistency up. Maybe get something going for Braden Sailing. Really hasn't had a shot attempt today, but I do like Timm over on the other corner as well.
He shot a deep 3 last time, was no good, so he's 2 for 3. First points of the game for him as Kohler turns it over looking for Hunley. It's his 3rd of the game. Hunley fouled, and that's a hard one. 2 shots coming up for Hunley.
So good job by Thomas. If you're going to foul them hard and make sure they don't score the basket. Make them earn it from the line, and that time Thomas does exactly what you should do when fouling. Really initiates that contact with the body. And
Kohler there, causing that one. Got to be aware on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that was just a bad pass. That's just in a game like this, you'd almost say that can't happen.
No. He decided not to go to work, and then I think he had room to dribble out rather than, I think he's passing out for Brecken, but
I think one of the game plans is to just double that post and force Kohler into those bad passes like you saw there. That time Dobson and number 33, Clayton Kessler also getting in on that action.
Sailing has it near the key. He'll work it back out. He's guarded by Barth. He'll give it to Reed Bodine. Bodine swinging to Thomas. Thomas started in the drive in, kicking back out to Timm. Timm near the wing. Now we'll swing it to Bodine. Bodine driving in, giving to Kohler. Kohler out to Sailing. Sailing drives in, the mid-range jumper is
Big
good.
Shot.
That's huge. If he's gonna get him with the pump fake, he's gonna have to score inside, and that time the floater finds the bottom of the bucket, and Sailing providing scoring in many ways here throughout the season.
Hunley has it, left wing guarded by Sailing. He'll swing it to Barth. Barth swings to Carter. Carter to Kessler. He'll turn it over to Kohler, and he's giving it to Sailing.
Be
Sailing,
smart.
4 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first. Sailing near the key, swinging to Bodine. Bodine giving back out to Sailing near the left wing. And he'll try to set up the offense as he gives it to Thomas. 4 minutes left in the first. Bullets having some success early. Sailing coming around. Thomas has it on the right wing. Giving to Sailing. He pulls a deep 3. He's fouled. And 3 shots coming up. I think Sailing sold that one, but he gets rewarded.
It's kind of Cooper Schallenberg-esque we saw against Williamsville. If you fall down and really, sell that contact, regardless if you got hit, there's always a good chance that you could get fouled on the 3, and Sailing, a very good free throw shooter, gets the first. So jitters are out. But I do like that shot. I think he should take more of that. And, Garrett Timm obviously in the scoring column as well, but really haven't seen too much of Thomas either. So if everyone's able to fire on all cylinders, then offense could be deadly, and we know what the defense can do over on the other end.
Yeah. They're going to give Dobson a break, so he'll work to the bench. So DiNardo back in for the Trojans, Sailing at the line. He converts all 3, and that's huge. It's Cooper Carter. He's got it, loosely guarded this time by Thomas. He'll swing it to Barth. Barth giving back to Carter. Carter swinging back to Barth. Barth giving down to Kessler near the left side. And now he's trapped, and he's got to get rid of it. Oh, he will out to Barth. Now Barth in the backcourt. He'll swing it across the way to Carter. Carter swings back to Barth. Barth giving it down to Kessler. Kessler working through some pressure, and they are going to call a foul. I believe Sailing will pick one up. Nope, Garrett Timm will pick his first personal foul up of the game. McCoy wanted one before that, and I think Brecken Thomas probably deserved one, but luckily for Williamsville, it wasn't called because that would be his second here in the first. Barth giving into Hundley. Hundley guarded by Timm. Hundley's got to have a place to go, and he will. He'll give it out to Carter. Carter swinging to Barth. Barth across the way to Kessler in the right corner. Trapped. Back out to Carter. Carter trying to work in. Auburn hasn't had anything open, but Hundley pulls the three. It's no good. Bodine can't pull it down. And Barth swinging out to Carter. It's tipped. It's short, and it's Sailing pulling it down, and Williamsville gets a huge stop. Sailing up to Thomas. Thomas
Big
to Timm, who
shot.
pulls
Huge.
from three.
Oh.
Shot no good, and Kessler pulls it down. Good-looking shot for Timm. It was
Good
just
shot.
off the rim.
You'll
That
take
would've
that
been-
10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and that would have been massive.
Barth swinging to Carter. Carter driving in, guarded by Bodine and Sailing. He'll give it out to DiNardo on the right wing. Now we'll swing it back to Barth. Barth to Hundley, but it's picked off.
Oh, wow.
No foul called. Timm. Kessler looking for Barth. Barth underneath. Traveled,
Got
and
him.
the Bullets end
Got
up
him.
with the ball.
Good. He absolutely traveled.
Absolutely. That was as textbook as it gets. Literally walked. He had the ball up, took a few steps. Dobson back in. Kessler will go to the bench. Kessler has a couple turnovers to his name.
You can tell the Bullets when they got hot with Timm that I mean you could see Auburn. They just didn't crumble necessarily, but they felt it. They felt the momentum.
Scott giving to Thomas on the right wing. Not loosely guarded. Giving to Sailing. Pulling from three.
Big
and he
shot.
nails it.
So again,
The
yes,
Bullets are up 10.
Sailing and Timm, the dynamic duo, kind of what we saw last year with, Trey Carter, or early in the season even with Blake Shuffler and Braden. And that time gets it to go. Williamsville up 10. That's big.
Full timeout called by Coach McCoy. The Bullets have a 10-point lead in the sectional semifinal. We'll see if this momentum will continue when we come back. 2:14 remaining in the first. Welcome back to the Williamsville Wire. The Bullets are up by 10 points, but Williamsville looks to keep their momentum up. Jackson Sanders in, Griffin Watkins in to give Carson Kohler a break.
And
Garrett
who else?
Timm
Garrett
also
Timm.
a break. In is Barth. Barth swinging over to Carter. Carter swinging down to number 5. That's DiNardo. DiNardo to Hundley. Hundley working in, fouled, and 2 shots coming up.
Didn't seem like a ton of contact, but
I think he sold it.
again, just like Brecken and Braden down here, I mean, if you initiate contact and you sell it, you're probably going to get the call.
So Sanders in, he picks up his first of the game. Carson Kohler and Garrett Timm look to work back in, so little window here, but I think they like Timm and Watkins for rebounding opportunities, but they will put Kohler back in the rebound. Two minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the first. Hundley at the line. He converted on the first. He gets the second.
I think free throw shooting in this game has kind of come down to the wire for both teams. If this stays close, Williamsville holding on to an 8-point lead. Got to keep up the pressure defensively and, keep scoring on offense.
Sailing has it. Right wing, it would have been a deep shot, but he pulls it down. He'll give back to Thomas. Thomas looking for Scott. Scott able to pull it down. He'll give to Kohler. Kohler back out to Scott. Scott giving to Thomas. Thomas feeds Kohler.
Good
Kohler
find.
converts the layup.
And that is great offense.
One
by
thing
the
about
Bullets.
Carson Kohler is he uses his body so well and sells a lot with the pump fakes. That time gets the Trojans jumping and easy layup.
DiNardo swinging to Carter. Carter swinging to Barth. Barth giving to Hundley. Hundley picked off by Kohler. He was looking for Grant Dobson.
I would push the pace
Sailing
here.
up to Timm. Timm now pushes back out to Kohler. No, Kohler wasn't going to pull that.
Oh,
and
no.
Sailing will turn it over. It's Carter. He'll lose it for a moment, and he's going to convert the layup.
I mean, that should have been a kickball violation.
Yeah,
the ref
I would
obviously
say so.
missed that one, but
Yeah, I would
nonetheless,
say so.
you can't afford to have those sloppy passes.
You got to move forward. Got to move forward if you're Williamsville. Thomas has it. He'll give over to Scott. Scott dribbling through. Out to Thomas. He pulls from 3. Shot is long, and it's Hunley having it, and he'll work it into the front court, so Auburn has a little bit of momentum here. Connor Carter giving to Hunley, and Hunley's going to pick up a foul on Garrett Timm, as Garrett Timm was in transition looking to score for Williamsville. Last 33 and 2/10 of a second remaining here in the first.
Haven't seen Sawyer Smith at all this game, so that's something to watch as well. He played a little bit in the last couple games, so haven't seen him at all.
That is a key critical stop there for Williamsville. That could have made it a 6-point game, possibly going into the second quarter if Williamsville's not able to convert here, but that stop, they can make it double digits again.
Thomas has it. He'll give over to Sailing. 20 seconds now on the clock. Bolin in the game for Auburn, and no foul called. It's Thomas, and now there will be one called. Number 15, Brady Bolin.
A lot of emotions running high in this building by both fans and the players. I mean, they're playing for, Auburn's one of the best season in history, and for Williamsville, get back on the big stage, and with the team they got, both of them even. They're
5 seconds. Timm pulls a deep 3. Shot no good, and that will end the first quarter. The Bullets are up by 8 points. Williamsville, good first quarter, but they got to keep it going. They've kind of had some shades of really good basketball, and a few times where, I think they could definitely improve upon, especially some turnovers and rebounding, just like it always is. We'll be back in the second quarter. Don't go anywhere. Once again, sponsored by Elite Lawn Care, Wade Moeller at Westtown Ford, and Top Tier Springfield. We will be back. Welcome back to the Williamsville Wire. The Bullets have the ball to start the second quarter. It's Brecken Thomas. He's got it. He'll give over to Garrett Timm. Timm back to Thomas near the key. Auburn sitting back in a zone here. Kohler to Thomas. Thomas giving to Timm. Timm will give to Thomas, and Thomas will be fouled by Cooper Carter.
I would have liked that foul call to be a little sooner, but nonetheless, a reach in, and by number 5, DiNardo.
Oh, no, it's the second quarter. Sorry. They didn't reset
second quarter.
So
here's Thomas into the front court. They'll swing it over to Braden Sailing. Sailing will give to Bodine near the free throw line. Bodine trying to go to work. He'll give out to Garrett Timm, who's on the right wing. Williamsville trying to escape some pressure here. He'll give out to Sailing. Auburn's defense has done pretty well here, but now it's Kohler near the right block, swinging out to Timm. Timm giving to Thomas. Thomas drives in, giving to Kohler. Thomas pulls from 3, and he drills it.
Big shot.
Huge
Up 11.
shot. They keep leaving Brecken Thomas open, but he makes him pay there, and it's an 11-point lead for Williamsville. Cooper Carter swings it to Hunley. Hunley back to Carter. Hunley driving in, and it's picked off, and it's Bodine in transition. And he can't convert the layup, and a foul's called, and Bodine's going to the line for 2 shots.
Going to be an Auburn foul.
Bodine's going?
No, it was a foul.
Yeah, it was going for the putback, and Auburn pushed him in the back. Not sure who got the foul there.
Looks like it'll be on the floor, maybe on the rebound. Maybe a hook of some
So
sort.
they're not saying on the shot, so they got to set up the offense. Braden Sailing has it, so kind of a confusing play there. Sailing will give to Thomas. Thomas swings to Bodine. Bodine out to Sailing. Sailing not open.
We'll see how Williamsville attacks this defense. I would like to go inside and Bodine, maybe to Kohler down low, and then have guys cut around him.
Sailing out to Thomas, who just hit a 3. Mid-range jumper is short and rebounded by Hunley. Bodine fell into him, and he'll pick up a foul.
Williamsville foul. Reed Bodine.
Almost a frustration foul there. But I didn't necessarily need that, especially being one of the best defensive players on the floor for Williamsville.
I think he fell into him. You know, he was going for the rebound, but I think he was falling backwards. Hunley will swing to Kessler. Kessler in the left corner. Back out to Hunley. He's able to corral it. He'll swing it over to Carter, and he's going to give down to Kessler. It's no good, and Kohler will come away with it, and Thomas will set it up to Sailing. 6 minutes left in the second. Sailing pulls from 3. Shot is off, and Auburn gets it back.
I do like the shot. I really do.
Yeah,
in
I mean, he's
transition,
open.
set his feet.
Not a great shot. It's tipped away. Hunley gets it back. Hunley swinging to Kessler. Kessler down to Dobson. Dobson will work through some contact, and 2 shots are coming up.
He initiates. He's a big dude. He initiates contact a lot.
Kohler, that's a second.
His second.
So again, gonna have to watch it if he wants to play, but Sanders looks like he'll come in place of Kohler.
You know, you can't have Kohler not playing. I mean, it's
Especially
with Dobson. But also at the same time, if you're gonna foul anybody, Dobson's the guy to foul,
absolutely.
because he can finish really well, but he's probably
very
a 50% free throw shooter or less. So if you're gonna, if you want to take away the layup that he's probably gonna make, you might as well send him to the free throw line.
He's 50% today. He's 2 for 4 at the moment as he makes the second one. He added a score to the wrong board there, so it is 21 to 11.
Got to get it
10-point
over.
lead for Williamsville.
I'm gonna get over half court.
Sailing giving to Bodine. He gives to Timm in the right corner. Shot no good. It was a high arcer, and it's no good. So he's now 2 for 6. So made his first 2. Has gone a little cold since then. Dobson down to Kessler. Kessler swinging back out to Barth. Barth giving to Carter. Cooper Carter swinging to Barth. Barth down to Kessler. Kessler trying to work in, now works back out, and he'll give it out to Barth, and he'll reset the offense. Carter swings over to Kern. Talon Kern. Auburn just kind of playing the perimeter. 5 minutes left here in the second. Kessler back out to Barth. Barth swinging it across the way. It's Carter to Barth. Barth on the left wing down to Kessler. Mid-range jumper, no good. Sanders comes away with it.
Phenomenal defense. That is what the 1-2-2 is all about.
Yep.
Sanders in transition, and that is a travel.
Man, that's just, you got to slow it down. I mean, you're
slow
up
it
10
down.
points. You do not need to go fast, and they went fast.
reason.
And Sanders is an inexperienced center, and Timm moves. He doesn't have a lot of discipline with his body, so that's just, I don't like that possession at all.
I don't either.
And offensively, Williamsville needs to play inside out. I like when they get the ball down to Reed Bodine, or excuse me, down to Carson Kohler on the block, or to Reed Bodine on the elbow, and people cut around it. It just every part of the Auburn defense collapses around them, and it leaves so many guys open. And if they're able to take advantage of that, maybe get some easy layups or Garrett Timm or Braden Sailing threes, could be deadly, and it could be a tough one for Auburn.
I don't think they're pushing the ball enough, Williamsville. Although they should have definitely just set something up.
I agree.
And I generally think that around Jackson Sanders, you're not going to be able to run your offense the same way with him.
In the
He's
playoffs,
just not big enough. He's just, not that he's not big
He's
enough,
also
but
not fast.
He's
not
not
fast
bigger than
enough.
Kohler or faster.
Yep.
Kohler's a lot more.
He's not going to overpower anyone,
Yeah.
especially Grant Dobson.
and in the playoffs, you play to win. You don't play not to lose. And I feel like a lot of coaches do that, but Williamsville has been playing to win.
And that's why they've been winning. Barth swinging over to Hunley. Hunley this time. Auburn has the ball after the turnover. Hunley, it's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Auburn. Sanders
that's still
making a
good
good
defense.
defensive play.
And he was wide open. That tip saved a layup. So
4 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here in the second. It'll be inbounded to Barth. They'll give it into Carter. Cooper Carter guarded by Timm. He'll swing it back to DiNardo. DiNardo back to Carter. Carter guarded by Thomas. And he's going to turn it over. I thought he traveled before he turned it over. His left pivot foot was moving all over the place.
So, yeah, Cooper Carter usually has knocked down a 3 today, but really hasn't been much of a threat since, and throws that one away, a wild pass.
Brecken Thomas will give out to Bodine. Bodine giving to Thomas. Thomas near the key. Bodine will set a screen. Thomas to Timm in the right corner, back out to Thomas. Thomas down to Sanders. Sanders to Bodine. Bodine, the layup is good.
That's
what I'm
talking
about.
That's an offensive possession.
That's
That's a good offensive
Sanders,
possession.
good pass by
out.
Sanders.
Yeah, and that's good play by Sanders.
It's another turnover. Carter looking for DiNardo, and the Bullets will get it back. A few subs in for Auburn. Number 2, Sawyer Smith. Number 33, Clayton Kessler.
And again, that's what I'm talking about offensively, playing inside out. That time gets down to Sanders. Reed cuts down to the basket and gets the contact layup to go, and that's what you need.
You got to get it past half court. It's Thomas into Sailing. Sailing on the left wing, now giving back to Thomas. Thomas trying to set up the offense. He'll give to Sailing. Sailing over to Sanders in the left corner. He'll get back to Thomas. Thomas to Sailing, and it's an illegal screen on Jackson Sanders. Sailing was wide open.
Yeah, that definitely a set play right there. Just Sanders couldn't keep his feet set, trying to block out the guy. Who knows what could have happened on that 3.
By the way, that's Sanders' second.
And that's probably just inexperience, honestly.
Yep. Kessler has it, guarded by Timm, and Sailing back up to Hunley. Hunley swinging, and a foul is going to be called on Bodine, who was going for the balls, but he picks one up. That's his second of the game.
Number 32, Reed Bodine, his second.
I mean, definitely contact there. Usually on those 50-50 balls,
Yep.
trying to tip passes, they
It's
give it to the
an
defender.
aggressive player going for the ball, but it is a foul.
Reed's going to have to watch it for the rest of the half.
Yep,
He's got 2.
And we got a kick ball.
Williamsville fans obviously not happy with that kick ball because they didn't get one on the other end, but a missed call nonetheless, but you got to play through it.
I read Beard's lips. He said, "Oh, you called that one?"
Yeah.
So he
knows.
Yeah,
He knows.
big deal.
Hey, I don't think that ref was the one that was going to make the call on the last one. Hunley has it. He'll swing it. Sanders is on the ground. Barth is wide open. He pulls from 3. Shot is no good. Rebound by Kessler, but it's over and back. It's a foul as he went over him.
And yes, that is a proper over and back call, but you have to get a block out on someone. That can't happen. And the reason usually over and back the calls are called in general is because, you know, of a good block out. Garrett Timm, that time, getting the good block out and drawing the foul. But Williamsville has to block out better.
Sailing, looking, he'll give to Kohler. Kohler will give to Sailing into the front court. 2:45 remaining in the second. Thomas has it, right wing, down to Kohler, who is wide open. No foul is called, it's declined. It's out of bounds, it'll stay with the Bullets down low.
Kohler just needs to go up.
He went up, well, yeah, he had a chance to go up, and then he has 4 people on him down low.
And then he waits till 3
and
people
then he
get
could have
there,
probably
and then he
kicked
goes
it
up.
out for a wide open 3.
But if he stayed straight up, that's an easier layup.
It's an easy layup, just a wide open, easy layup. No one was even there.
Sailing, he'll give to Thomas near the right wing, guarded by Hunley. Thomas to Timm. Timm thought about shooting, he thought better of it. Now Timm open in the right corner. He'll give out to Thomas. Thomas to Sailing. Sailing open for a moment, now kicks to Kohler. Kohler to Bodine, can't finish.
It's all right, a good look. Reed needs to finish.
Bodine a little shaken up there. It's going to be number 2, Sawyer Smith. Smith will give to Kessler. Smith, this time it's Hunley. Hunley kicking to Smith in the left corner. Guarded by Timm, and he'll turn it over. Thomas has it, spin move.
Slow down.
Push the pace.
Oh my God, he traveled.
Yeah, he did. But they got away with it, and Sailing's open. Shot no good, and Auburn's going to get it back. So Sailing 0 for 3 on 3-point attempts.
I like the idea of pushing the pace.
1 for 4 on 3-point attempts.
I like the push of the pace, Colin. I like what you were saying, but I just said slow it down in that instance because Brecken looked out of control. He looked out of control, so I figured he'd turn it over or make a bad pass. But that's the only reason. I like pushing the pace for sure.
Especially up 12.
Yeah.
You know, if you can always get some more points in a fast break and transition, it's really good.
Auburn has 1 point.
Hunley, it's turned over. Thomas into the front court for Williamsville. And he'll kick it over to Scott. Braden Scott, who's fresh in the game on the baseline, kicking out to Sailing. Sailing trying to set up the offense. 1 minute and 26 seconds left here in the half. Griffin Watkins will turn it over, and it's a jump ball. But Auburn has a bad pass there by Watkins.
Yes. And this is why you can't get into foul trouble, because then you have freshmen playing. You have freshmen on the court, and the biggest game of these seniors' lives, and you have freshmen playing on the court, and that's what happens.
Kyle, it's the biggest game of bullet basketball in 6 years. Absolutely. Cooper Carter swinging down, and that is absolutely a foul. That's going to get called every time.
That's Sailing's. I don't know.
I've got Sailing.
It's his first, I think.
Yeah.
His first. Going to be 5 team fouls for the
So
quarter.
2 shots should be coming up here for Auburn because they're in the bonus.
Would like to point out that 4 total points have been scored in the second quarter.
5. Thomas 3.
It was 19.
I think so.
It was 19 to it was 19 to 10.
I might be missing something.
Because it was.
I thought it was 18.
Auburn.
I thought it was 18.
Because it was.
It was 18
Auburn
to
had
10.
11.
Okay, yeah, it was 18.
Auburn had 10.
Because we've had 5 total points, and they've all been
well 6
by Williamsville. Now that's
he missed the free throw. Dobson made a free throw at the beginning of the quarter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. And he went 0 for 2. He went 0 for 2.
1 minute 9 left. You got to get a 2-for-1 here. I don't like the idea of holding it. I want you to go fast and then force a turnover on the other end and go 2-for-1 here.
Scott has it. He's not closely guarded, so he'll kick it back out. 53 seconds down to 52 left here in the half. Barth not closely guarded. Now he is closely guarded. Brecken Thomas. Now Sailing has it guarded by Carter. He's got to count. He'll give out to Thomas. Thomas, now they have a play.
Numbers.
Timm pulls from 3. They need it,
Bang!
and they got it.
That is massive. Up 15 now. Wow, that's huge.
Cooper Carter has it. He'll swing it, and it's into the hands of Barth. 29 seconds left. And Dobson, it's turned over. It's Kohler. He'll give it to Sailing.
I said 2-for-1 right
now
here.
Now go push. Hit another
Sailing
one.
to Timm. Timm pulls from 3. Shots no good. And it's another power play here for Auburn. Into the front court is number 10, Cooper Carter. Block called. 2 shots coming up.
That was close. Nathan, I'm going to agree with the call.
The feet were not set.
Braden
That is a good
Sailing's
call.
feet moved at the end of the play.
The feet were not set.
Their feet were not set. That is a block, and that is a good call by a good referee, and that is why they are doing a sectional. That is a good call.
He's watching that play. You have to be set. I mean, if you are moving at all, you are subject to a block. You are subject to a block. No matter what. How much physicality is there through the play in a game like this? That is absolutely a block.
And if Braden would have just stood there and stayed set, that's a charge all day long. But he moved his left foot. Moved at the end of that play, and that's why it wasn't a charge.
Shot's no good, but Barth pulls it down, and he gets it, and Auburn has a big turn of events here, and they're back to 11 on what was a 15-point lead. Bullitt has to go. Thomas, 3 seconds. Brecken Thomas pulls a deep 3, and it's no good. No foul called there at the end of the half, so Auburn has some momentum, but they're down by 11 points at halftime.
And that's what can happen. You're up 15 points with 30 seconds left in the second quarter, and now it's 11. That's what can't happen.
That is a 2-for-1 wasted, and we all had the momentum going down. Garrett Timm obviously missed the 3, but you like the look, especially the way he's been hitting the last 2 games, but you can't have that on the other end. Braden Sailing either needs to set his feet or just go up and contest regardless, but the and 1 was called, and then the offensive rebound, and that's a 4-point swing.
See, that's another rebounding. I think Auburn, even today, I like Auburn's rebounding so far. I think that going into the second half, they can build on that. I think that's a big strength for Auburn, and they need to use it. And frankly, they probably shouldn't be down by 11 points. Turnovers have really killed them.
Yeah.
And the only difference is this is almost the exact same game. We have guys in foul trouble early. But Williamsville has been able to capitalize enough times to build that big of a lead. Last time we were tied at halftime. So if you do the math there, Williamsville has a shot, and they've got to use it. I think Auburn going into the second half, they're going to make some adjustments. So Williamsville, who's tired right now playing the zone, they got to come out.
I agree, especially with the lack of depth. Coach Beard elects to only play a few 7 guys, usually off the bench. This time it's been Watkins and Jackson Sanders in place of Carson Kohler, and obviously Scott, who is the relegatory 6th man. So for him, he's going to have a big night, and the bench is going to have to step up, especially on the defensive side when the 1-2-2, when the players are tired and they need breaks.
Williamsville looking to go back to the sectional finals, but they've got 16 minutes left and an 11-point lead. We'll be back, once again, sponsored by Elite Lawn Care. Wade Moeller at Westtown Ford and Top Tier Springfield. We'll be back right before the second half begins. Welcome back to the Williamsville Wire here in Beardstown. Williamsville will have the ball. And the crowd is hyped once again as we are back from halftime. Guys, I mean, this is just such an electric atmosphere.
I mean, this is what a sectional semifinal game is all about. You know, you have two Sangamo Conference teams at that and battling for glory, and Auburn, best season in history. Williamsville, best season since 2016. There we go as Williamsville starts the
Bodine
scoring.
hits it. Mid-range jumper fed from Brecken Thomas. They needed that one to start. Bullets back up by 13. It's Cooper Carter. He's got it. He'll swing it across the way to Hundley, but he threw it over Hundley's head, and it's yet another turnover. He's had at least a couple tonight, and the Bullets will have it back.
Cooper Carter, some sloppy passing really the entire game after that three. Really hasn't responded well to that double team that Williamsville's been throwing at him in that 1-2-2.
No, it's a big start. Big two, big turnover.
And Hundley will knock it out of bounds, making a great defensive effort there. The Bullets will have it on the baseline. Timm swung it, looking for Sailing.
Braden probably would have been pretty open.
Definitely would have been open for that three there. So a diving play by Hundley to deflect that out of bounds.
Garrett Timm will swing it down to Kohler near the right block, back out to Timm. Timm to Bodine. Bodine out to an open Timm. He pulls from three. Shot no good. Dobson able to tip it back, and it's into the hands of Hundley. Hundley brings it into the front court. Now back towards the corner. And it's tipped, but it finds its way into the hands of Carter. Carter. Dobson turns it over.
Kohler read that like a book.
Absolutely. Sailing into the front court. Driving in out to Garrett Timm. Timm out to Sailing. Sailing down to Kohler. Guarded by Dobson. Now kicks out to Sailing. He pulls from three and he nails it. Huge shot for Williamsville.
And you're right back up 16, and that's huge.
Really had contact on the wrist too. Could have been an and one, but Sailing finishing through it, and that's what good shooters do.
Hundley in the left corner. Now pressured. He'll give it off to Cooper Carter. Carter swings it to Dobson. Dobson to open Carter, who pulls from three, and he drills it.
It's a big shot for them, too.
Huge shot.
So trading
a
it
big
right
response.
back. And we'll see what Auburn can come up with defensively to try to stop Williamsville. Williamsville obviously has their number on defense.
Timm swinging to Kohler. Kohler near the free throw line, working in on Dobson, and shot no good. Kohler not able to pull it down, but Bodine is there for the rebound and basket, and he's up to 6.
Bodine, right place, right time, and playoff Bodine has been an integral part of why Williamsville's gone this far.
Hundley swinging out into the hands of Carter. Carter swinging to DiNardo. He'll turn it over, and Bodine has it in transition. It's Thomas driving in. Around contact, no good, and they scoreless on that transition possession. It's Hundley into the front court for the Trojans. Driving in, and we've got a foul called on the floor, so they got her on the baseline.
It'll be Kohler's
Is that
third.
Kohler's third? See what he reports.
Oh no, they're calling 13, so Braden Sailing.
Sailing second.
But you'll take
You're fine
that.
with that.
You're fine
That's
with
Sailing's third.
Yeah, Barth works back in for Auburn. I thought that one may have been on Sailing, so it's good to see that one go on. Dobson into the hands of Hundley. Hundley to Barth. Barth back to Carter in the left corner. Now it's Barth on the left wing, giving back to Carter. They're kind of trading it here. He'll give over to Dobson. Dobson to an open Carter in the left corner, pulling from three. Shot no good. Dobson not able to pull it down, out of bounds. Bullets get it back.
Great job there. Caught a break there with a Cooper Carter missed three, but really hasn't been hitting besides the one early and then the one down the court last time. But Williamsville catches a break there nonetheless.
Thomas will give to Sailing. Sailing into the hands of Carson Kohler. Kohler will get back to Sailing, who's loosely guarded by Barth this time. 5 minutes left here in the third. Thomas driving in, down to Kohler. Kohler to an open Timm, who pulls from three. Shot's good.
Man, I mean, Sailing and Timm have been massive in this playoff run. Massive.
Here's Cooper Carter, pressured by Williamsville, giving to Barth. Barth swings it to Hundley. Hundley pulls from three, and he nails it. And once again, Auburn has an answer.
But if you're Williamsville, you are 100% fine with trading threes with Auburn all night long. You're up 15.
Yep.
You can trade threes with them all night long. Like 1 3 does not hurt you at all.
4 minutes and 33 seconds left in the third. The Bullets have a 15-point lead. We'll take a quick break here on The Wire. We're sponsored by Elite Lawn Care, Wade Muller at Westtown Ford, and Top Tier Springfield. We will be back. Williamsville has the ball after the made three. Timeout called by Coach McCoy. Sailing will give it into Thomas. Thomas will get back to Sailing. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the third. Sailing kicks up to Kohler, and they'll get it into the front court. Sailing on the right wing. Now trying to set up the board offense. Auburn's been playing pretty decent defense, but they see Williamsville getting some open shots here as of late. Thomas giving to Timm. Timm works it back towards the key. Timm has it. He swings out to Bodine. Bodine will work it back towards the key. Bodine giving to Thomas. Thomas driving in through contact. Oh my goodness. Brecken Thomas, what a bucket.
Good job by Brecken. Not getting wary of the basket. Initiates contact and gets it to go.
Kessler here goes to work and gets the bucket down low through some contact as well. Good rebounding by Dobson. 3:38 remaining in the third. Kohler working in, grabs it, he'll swing it to Timm. Timm near the wing, giving over to Thomas. Thomas driving in. We've got a push in the back. It'll be on the floor. I'm not sure who this one will go on. And it will be on Hunley.
It's on the floor, I'd assume.
Yes, so it'll be an out-of-bounds play.
Second team first.
One thing I would like to see from Timm as well, I mean, he's been shooting it lights out, but he can really, you know, throw people off with the pump fake. If he's able to drive inside, that adds a whole nother element.
Shot no good by Bodine off the inbound. You know, I'll take that. You know,
that's
he's
a
being
good
aggressive.
Oh.
And a block is called there. They're going to say that Garrett Timm was moving. Honestly, there, I like a no call. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's in a way where there was much and I have a bad angle, but I don't like a charge because I don't think it was aggressive enough for Hunley, but I would have actually called nothing. So. Kessler has it. He'll give out to Hunley. Hunley swinging to Barth. Barth pressured. Barth was going to try and throw it off Sailing's leg, but it's into Hunley, and yet another foul. And Sailing
Braden's fourth.
got another. Is that his fourth? I've got his third. I've got 3 on Sailing. Yeah. Oh, no, that is his fourth. Oh, my goodness.
That's something to look at.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had 3.
You take him out for the rest of the third quarter.
He might have.
Especially with the lead right now.
He's got to come out.
With the lead right now, you can afford him out.
He's got to come out.
Watkins comes in.
He's got the whole fourth to play. But you got to have a conversation with him on the bench. You're up by 15. He cannot foul.
No.
And Carter's wide open, and he nails it, and Auburn back in it.
And Sailing going out is automatically going to be momentum for them, and then this.
Foul's going to be called on Barth.
Thank God.
Making an aggressive play. But
I agree.
Williamsville catches a break there.
On the back there. So a good foul call there, but need to break this pressure.
Yeah, and now Williamsville loses like a main ball carrier, but Brecken Thomas is going to have to step up. Thomas giving to Griffin Watkins. Griffin Watkins is fouled.
I mean, that was a foul. It could have been a foul.
Hunley, I believe that's Hunley's third. Yeah, Hunley now kind of in foul trouble. He might have to come out. Scott's going to work in for Watkins, and Scott's a good ball handler, so you put him out there.
I'm surprised they haven't seen Newhoff. Really was a varsity starter, but after he didn't show up to a shoot-around one day, he hasn't really played much since.
And Timm's found the hot hand, really.
Thomas giving out to Bodine near the key. Bodine trying to work in, and now we will have the best of him, and it's a tough basket for Reed Bodine, and he's already at 6 in this quarter.
So playoff Bodine coming in clutch once again.
Barth, he'll swing it across the way, finds its way to DiNardo. DiNardo guarded by Scott, kicks it back out. DiNardo guarded by Scott and Bodine. He's got to get rid of it. He will to Barth. Barth swings to Carter, who's hit a few threes. It finds its way into the hands of Hunley. Hunley to Carter.
Tipped.
Shot is off. Kessler has it down low, goes to work, and one. Kessler works through contact, gets the basket, and a possible three-point play.
You gotta come down with that rebound.
3, so it's Braden Scott picking up the foul.
Deja vu of the last time these two teams played. Offensive rebounds led to second chance points for Auburn, and that's how they were able to run away with it. We'll see if Williamsville can keep this lead.
You know, Sailing being out is just...
It's huge. We talk about his offensive game so much, but he is also a main proponent on defense. His active use of hands really is elite in the Sectional Conference.
That might be an absolute game changer. Yeah. Like if Williamsville loses this game, that is the game changer.
Yep. Scott kicks to Timm. Timm will give it back to Thomas. Thomas driving in, giving to Scott. Scott now working in, and he's got a kick back out. It's to Bodine. Bodine near the key, giving to Garrett Timm. Timm trying to set up the Williamsville offense. 1:53 here left in the third. Timm to Bodine. Bodine down to Kohler. Kohler near the block.
Kohler needs to have something here on offense, especially with Sailing out.
Bodine giving out to Thomas, guarded by Barth. Thomas giving to Scott. Scott driving in, down to Kohler, and it's going to be a turnover. Trojans get it back. It's Barth into the front court working in. They are going to call a foul. Two more shots. I think Bodine's going to get
I'm always on the referee's side, but that is not a foul. That is an anticipation call. That is it's a fast break, they're going to foul hard type of call. That's just not a foul, and that's a game changer in a big game like this. That's just man.
Auburn at the line. It's Barth. First is no good.
Ball don't lie, I guess. But
that another thing to watch. That is Reed's third. So again, Williamsville foul trouble may come down to be a deciding factor in this one, especially if Auburn climbs their way out of this deficit. Man, only down 10 now, and they got all the momentum on their side. Williamsville looks scared. We need a big bucket by a senior leader.
Absolutely. Thomas giving to Scott. Scott to Kohler. Kohler swings to Bodine. Bodine's got it. They needed that one badly. He's at 10 points.
For a junior leader, Bodine.
There you go.
Always in right place, right time, and that's due to his off-ball
has to step
movement.
up. Carter has it right wing here in the 3-1, and Scott's going to pick one up. And I think that's team number 6, so 2 shots should be coming up for Auburn.
Man.
Number 3,
Scott, I believe that's only his second.
Good thing about this quarter foul reset is that you only got a minute left of bonus.
I think that one, I think that would fall under the tic-tac foul category.
The last 2, in my opinion.
First one good for Carter.
Back in the game for the Trojans.
Auburn, a very resilient team we've seen throughout the entire season, and especially Sectional Conference play. I mean, they can get back in this one just as easily as Williamsville got out to this lead.
Yeah.
But with Sailing out, it always hurts to not have a main ball handler, but you got to have Thomas step up.
But you just got to power through it. Like, that's going to happen. And that can't. Sailing can't be the reason you lose. Sailing can't be your whole team.
You gotta work through it. Just like the Riverton game. Williamsville calls the timeout. It's 30 seconds. They're up by 10, but it doesn't feel like it. Williamsville takes the timeout. We'll take a timeout here on The Wire. This timeout brought to you by Elite Lawn Care, Wade Muller at Westtown Ford, and Top Tier Springfield. You're not going to want to miss the ending of this one. We'll be back. We are back here on the Williamsville Wire. It's Brecken Thomas. He'll swing it to Garrett Timm. A minute left here in the third. Timm back to Thomas. They got to work it into the front court, and they will. It's Thomas giving to Kohler near the free throw line. Timm, left wing, guarded by Carter. Garrett Timm swinging out to Thomas. 46 seconds left in the third. Thomas, left wing. I wonder if Williamsville wants one last shot, but it's Bodine out to Scott. Scott in the right quarter. Williamsville doesn't look like they're in any hurry.
I can see them getting one final shot. Really just set a backbreaker at the end of the third.
Scott tipped away. Auburn has it back for the last Possession here in the third. It's Barth swinging to DiNardo. DiNardo back to Barth. Barth to an open Carter. Carter able to pull it down. 15 seconds. Barth guarded. Throws it to... And they're going to call a foul. 2 shots should be coming up.
Gracious.
And they're going to put Sailing back in. And remember, he's at 4. So
And if I'm Seth McCoy and I see this, I attack Braden Sailing at all costs. Make him foul out because this is a team that can drive and does have the size advantage. So if you're able to get Sailing inside, go at him.
I want to attack everyone right now. I mean, the refs seem to be calling a foul on any touching of bodies right now.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, you just got to attack. If you're I don't know. If you're Williamsville, attack it. Attack the basket. Attack the basket.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're going to have the ball on offense, so that's why they put him in. But, man. I mean, Braden Scott, reached out and tapped him with his hand, and that was a foul. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now, but they let him play for a long time.
Here's Sailing. He's got it. 8 seconds. Sailing to Kohler. Kohler driving into Bodine. Bodine's going to pull the 3. Shot's no good. Bodine has it back.
No foul? No foul? They got him a foul. Good.
And they do have a foul.
That is a good call. That is absolutely.
And they're going to hold on. They're going to talk about it here. They're talking. They're talking about it. The clock may have ran out. If the clock ran out, the foul will not stand.
Another thing
this is a huge call.
They're discussing.
Another thing that is a 3-shot foul. So Bodine will shoot 3 if
unless
this foul
he was
does
on the
stand.
line, and maybe 2 shots. Let's see. Yes, they will call
it.
It
is a foul.
2 shots. So he was on the line.
That's a massive call. And he's got to make these shots.
He'll be at the line shooting 2 shots.
Gonna have to make these. Bodine
He's been critical in this quarter. He needs both of these as he bricks the first. Now you just got to focus on the second.
Man. And this has gotten too close for comfort almost, Nathan.
Again, the nerves setting in, especially as we reach this final quarter.
Big shot. Big
shot. Second. That is the end of the third quarter. Williamsville up by 9. And I can't tell you that I've ever been more nervous about a game in my entire life.
That we're up by 9.
9 points. I've never been more nervous with Sailing
because
with 4 fouls.
Too close of a 9.
Yeah, it's way too close of a 9. And last 8 minutes, Bullets trying to hold off this lead, and if they don't, they will be going home. So they got to play like their season's on the line, because it certainly is. We will be back for the fourth quarter. You're not going to want to miss it. Welcome back to the wire. 9-point lead for Williamsville, but Auburn has it, and it's Barth working it into the front court. He'll swing it to Hundley. Hundley, right wing, back to Barth. Barth near the key, driving in, giving to Dobson. Dobson back out to Carter. He pulls from 3. Shot no good, and Williamsville not able to grab it. It's Dobson off the board. Thomas able to pull it down. It's a huge rebound. Thomas has to work through contact, out of bounds. Trojans have it back.
And everything is going Auburn's way right now. I'm always impartial, but every single call in the last 3 minutes has gone Auburn's way. No contact fouls and out of bounds plays.
And it's going to find into the hands of Kohler. It was a tip play, but Auburn can't capitalize. Thomas in transition, and now he'll give it to Kohler. Kohler on the right wing giving to Bodine. Bodine swinging it. He'll find Thomas.
One thing about Williamsville is you cannot play scared.
Nope.
You live for these moments as a kid, and right now they're in your face. Go out and take them.
Go win it.
Thomas down to Kohler. Kohler out to Thomas. Thomas pulls from 3. Shot is off, but Bodine is there for the rebound, and he'll give it into Kohler. It's a huge offensive board. Kohler's going to turn it over. It's into the hands of Carter. Carter works it into the front court, giving to Hundley. Hundley driving in, swinging down to Kessler. Kessler, the jumper, is good and one.
No.
Oh, they called it on Dobson.
Oh, they called it on Dobson, so the Bullets will have it back.
The basket is good, but there is a foul. There is a foul on Dobson, so that'll go against the foul count too.
Sailing comes back in.
Sailing back in. And I think Sailing should be in for offense. And on defense, he's just got to get away. I mean, that's bottom. He's just got to get away.
Still have active hands, but
yep, got to get away. You can't
stay on the three-point line.
I would put him at the point man in this 1-2-2. Less risk there, especially if you don't rotate down low.
Oh my God!
And Thomas was looking for Sailing, who didn't cut, and Auburn's got it back.
So a lot of momentum going in Auburn's favor, but Williamsville has to be relentless. And I know
they're gonna take Sailing out.
You got to take Sailing out, offense for defense, dead balls whenever you can. That's what you got to do, especially with 4 fouls. But Watkins needs to come in and do his job, and that's rebound.
You've got to rebound.
Barth swinging to Carter. Carter back to Barth near the key. He'll give it. It's into the hands of Hunley. Hunley driving in. And he traveled, but it's into the hands of Thomas. Thomas has it. Swinging up to Timm. Timm back to Thomas. It's out of bounds off Auburn. I was about to say if he pointed the other way.
Oh, my goodness.
It'll stay with Williamsville.
I don't even play, and I'm so
after all that, maybe a missed travel call there, but it ends up in the hands of Williamsville, and they're going to have to capitalize here on this out-of-bounds play or
Sailing back in the game. It is the fourth quarter, right? Both scoreboards say third.
It's fourth.
Okay.
It's fourth.
I don't know if I was. I thought I was.
Bodine
confused.
wide open layup. He's got it, and he's at 12 or 13. He's at 13. Bullets need a huge defensive stand.
I would almost put Braden Sailing up at the point. I don't
like
agree
him
with
down
this.
Either.
Yeah.
It's Hunley. Hunley swinging back to Barth. Barth driving in, giving to Carter. Carter back to Barth. Barth on the left wing. Back to Carter. Carter guarded this time by Sailing. They'll swing it back. Kessler has it right corner. Back out to Hunley. Hunley, wide open Carter in the corner, pulling from 3. It's no good, but somehow Hunley finds a way to get the offensive board, and a foul's going to be called. It's on Carson Kohler.
And that can't happen. Brecken Thomas has to rotate down on that to possibly grab a defensive rebounder. Some rotations have to happen. You know you're going to get those cross-court passes open, but you got to rebound.
Sailing scared the crap out of me on that possession. Good Lord.
Hunley driving in.
That's a foul.
Foul called on Bodine, and that's his 4th. So now Bodine in major foul trouble.
And the Bullets are in major foul trouble because
foul trouble.
that's only team's second. I thought that was team's third. So. But Sailing's got 4. Reed's got 4. Kohler's got 3. That's not too much of a worry.
Dobson out to Hunley. Hunley to DiNardo, and
it's not going to count.
I don't think it's going to count. The foul's before the basket. No good. So
going to be a Williamsville foul.
That's Reed's 5th.
He's done. Bodine's done. Bodine just fouled out. Bodine's done.
It wasn't on Reed Bodine. It was on Griffin Watkins.
It was on Griffin Watkins.
So Bodine has 4. That's not his. So it was on 30. Griffin Watkins. And they're going to talk about it. A lot of tensions here building for both fans. Auburn trying to climb their way back in this one, and Williamsville trying to hold on.
If they don't know, it's not going to be called correctly. You go with whatever the official says. If the other official saw it, and they're looking at, and Thomas has got to get away.
There we go.
30. So Watkins has it. I think that's the correct call. Honestly, I didn't see it either.
Watkins was the one who fell down.
Bodine has to be aware. He cannot be anywhere. Like, he's got to be aware. We have 5 minutes left potentially in our season.
And that's
How about
you don't like having a foul there, but also you do because that's a big momentum 3 that is
and it's
off.
out of bounds.
Ooh, I don't know. I think that was just tipped. I think that was tipped by Garrett Timm on Williamsville. I didn't have a good look there, but maybe a missed call there, and it goes in Williamsville's favor. I don't know.
So now Williamsville has it. I didn't see that one either.
The tension is crazy at this gym right now. I mean, it's a huge game. Biggest of each's seasons, maybe even program history.
And it's tipped away. Thomas was looking for Sailing. Williamsville still has it.
I would have much rather it been to read Bodine down low, and he was wide open on that cut. If that doesn't go to Sailing, Bodine either has a contact layup where he's fouled, or he gets an easy layup to go, and he's been integral.
It's one heck of a game.
Sailing into Kohler. Kohler with 3 fouls, now working to Bodine. Bodine will give to Thomas, guarded by Hunley. 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Thomas trying to drive in. He'll get back out to Timm. Timm giving to Sailing. Sailing, right wing, this time guarded by Carter. Sailing giving off to Bodine. Bodine to Sailing. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Sailing trying to create space near the wing. Driving in down to Kohler, and it's off Kohler. I think Sailing should have taken a shot there.
Yeah, I do like the possession. I like wasting time, but you got to score.
I want Sailing with the mid-range. I want Sailing. I want a Sailing mid-range jumper there.
And he's almost automatic from there too.
Yeah, I want a mid-range jumper. Auburn will use a timeout. It's a full timeout. They're down by 9 points with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
What a game.
This is what you live for, Nathan. I mean, just a game like this, sectional, semifinal. 2 Sangamo Conference teams that we've seen. 45-36. Auburn down 9, 4:51 left, and I've said this before, this is where legends are made. If Williamsville's going to hold on to this lead, they're going to have big contributions from Breckett Thomas and Braden Sailing, as well as Reed Bodine and Carson Kohler
Sailing
down
might
low.
be, honestly, here, the team's got to work without Sailing. So
especially on the defensive end. But offensively, if he's able to get in the rotation, you keep him on the perimeter. Make sure he gets good open looks, because they're like layups for him, and he's still the best shooter on our team. I know Timm's stroking a lot, but Braden Sailing, you can't really match with him and the way he shoots the deep ball. So you look for him to maybe steal some points here in this fourth quarter, but then defensively, Watkins is going to have to step up in place of Braden Sailing, and it all comes down to this. 4:51 left for your season, and this is what happens.
You have to put it all out on the floor. It's going to take an entire team effort to hold these last 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
This is what it's.
Yep, here it is. Hunley will inbound. He'll give it into Barth. Barth, he's going to be guarded by Brecken Thomas and Timm when he's met in the front court. He'll swing it over to Hunley. Across the way to Carter, pulling from 3. Watkins pulls it down, giving to Brecken Thomas. Thomas works it into the front court in transition, giving to Timm. Timm in the left corner, thought about shooting. He'll work it back out to Thomas.
I still think you play somewhat loose and
driving
try and
in, and he's declined out of bounds, but the Bullets have it back.
Braden back in the game. Get Sailing back in the game.
Sailing back in for the offense.
I like it. I like it. I like the way that we aren't just playing not to lose. We're playing to win. We're going to take this, and we're going to get the points that we need to win this game.
Not just wasting time.
And I like the decision.
Sailing will kick it into Kohler. Kohler on the left wing. He'll give it into Sailing. 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
But this doesn't mean rush a shot. This means get a shot you like. Again, don't care how long it takes. There is no shot clock.
Got to be cautious with the ball. Got to be disciplined. Sailing has it this time. Sailing to Timm. Timm on the left wing. Timm giving over to Thomas. We're now down under 4 minutes. Thomas driving in.
Foul?
And it's out to Bodine. Bodine thought about shooting. Bodine will give to Sailing, so the Bullets still have it.
That is a foul. I don't know how that wasn't called, but nonetheless, we get the offensive board.
Gotta move forward. Gotta make something out of it. At the latest, you just gotta run clock, which is what they're doing. Sailing, the jumper is good.
Big shot. That's huge.
Especially how much time was taken off the clock. That was a 40-second play that ended in a Williamsville
Hunley
bucket.
to Barth. Barth pulls for 3. His shot looks off. It is. And Kohler will pull it down. Kohler giving to Brecken Thomas.
We score right here, and that is massive. That is all the momentum right back to us.
Thomas fouled.
That'll be his second. So really not in foul trouble. And Auburn hasn't been in foul trouble so far. I mean, the one with the most fouls is number 3, Carter Hunley, and he's got 3. So they got room to play with, especially if it comes down to free throw shooting and intentional fouling.
Thomas has it, working in. Down to a wide open Kohler, and he finishes the basket down low.
That's huge. Massive possession.
Into the hands of number 22, Barth. Barth swinging to Carter. Carter in the right corner, and it finds its way into the hands of Hundley. Hundley down under 3 minutes. Finds Carter in the right corner, pulling from 3. Shots no good. Bullets
That's ours.
out of bounds off Dobson, and the Bullets have it back.
Again, huge. 2:52 left, 49-36. Williamsville, this is the time where you start slowing it down.
Yes.
If you see something you like, take
Yes.
it. But if not,
No,
don't force anything,
absolutely.
because Auburn can
Cannot
come down
force
and
a
shoot.
shot.
Obviously, Cooper Carter hasn't been hitting, but he can get hot at any minute.
If you get an open 3, take it and end the game, because that's
Sailing
the game
foul.
sealer.
So now they're getting close. I'm not sure. Kyle, do you see 3 team
uh,
fouls there for both
3,
teams? Okay, so
correct.
3 for both teams now. 13-point lead for Williamsville.
Man,
Oh.
a little bit of breathing room.
No,
a little
no.
bit.
There's
Well,
none.
it was 8. It was
It
like
was-
6 points.
Yes, it was.
So a little bit of breathing room.
Little bit.
but
It is
not
13, but the way Auburn has been resilient all season, that can easily be erased.
Yes.
much. 100%.
Thomas driving in, finding Kohler.
Big
Kohler
shot.
was sailing. He thought about shooting. Hundley, who fell to the ground. Now it's sailing over to Thomas in the left corner. And the Williamsville, I think, just once.
What?
And they're going to say Brecken Thomas stepped out of bounds, so they turned it over, and Auburn has it back. And
Interesting.
that can't happen.
No, not at all.
Sailing should shoot there.
Oh my God.
There's too much time
That's the game.
left. There's too much time left.
You make that shot.
There is
and
too much time left to just hold the ball.
You make that
Too
shot.
much.
That's playing to not lose.
That's right.
And him shooting that is playing to win. That's his game. Shoot that all day.
Hundley net. He'll give it to Barth. Barth swinging to Carter in the right corner. He's declined by Bodine.
He's got to be careful, though. He's got 4 fouls, and obviously you can afford to get all ball in the air on that one, but as long as you don't land into him.
Yep. Bodine, remember, at 4, so he really has to still be careful.
Same with Braden Sailing.
Yeah, we got 2 guys in major foul trouble. Carter able to pull it down. He'll swing it over to Barth. Barth, right wing, trying to make something happen. Finding Hundley, who's wide open. And he can't hit it, but Kessler pulls it down, and it's a wide open layup for Auburn.
That's okay.
And it's a
I mean,
timeout called for by
2
Coach
minutes to
McCoy.
go. Now, Nathan, you were up 11 points with 2 minutes left. They don't have the time to not make this a free throw game. It's going to come down to free throws, and Braden can make them, and Brecken makes them. I mean, if you make your free throws, you win this game.
Obviously, your star free throw shooter is Braden Sailing, but really anyone on the floor. I know Kohler is a bit cold at times, but for a big man, he can shoot it at a decent clip, and then Brecken Thomas being sort of efficient. I would say last game was a little troubling on the foul on the 3 as he missed all 3, but again, he's been working, and we'll see what he can do from the line. But obviously, you want to get Sailing involved as much as you can, especially when it comes to intentional fouling, which might happen in the next 30 seconds if Williamsville holds on.
And here's my take. If we make free throws, we win this game no matter what.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
Absolutely.
We win this game. You can't lose.
So now it's Bodine. He'll give it over to Timm. Timm will reset it to Sailing. He's still in the backcourt. He's got to work it through. He'll give it to Kohler. Kohler giving to Sailing near the right wing. 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining in the 4th. Auburn, he's trying to get them to play close defense. And Sailing, it's going to be out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bullets.
And that works. That's 16 seconds off the clock.
There you go. Need a minute
Just
and 44 to come off, and your season will stay alive.
The clock's your best friend right now.
So Thomas guarded by Barth, and they are going to give him a foul. I'm not sure how many he has. Do you want to look at he's done. I think Barth is done.
No, it's
No,
4.
he's at 4. Okay.
There was no one over
and
3.
Auburn is also at 4.
Yep.
So one more,
and they're shooting.
That was their only foul to give. So they might.
Sailing's got to get it in. He will to Thomas. Thomas is fouled, and it's by Kessler. So now Brecken Thomas is shooting free throws.
Now it's just a free throw game.
Again, kind of been our Achilles heel so far this entire season, and we'll see if it comes down to our final game of the season, or supposedly, but Brecken Thomas got to be efficient.
It just can't be. Like, this is, it cannot, it can't be.
Thomas hits his first. Lord.
These are must-make free throws. You are a senior. Your career's ended.
Thomas hits both of them. 51-38. It's into the front court. It's Barth. Barth swinging to Hundley. Hundley right corner working in. And it's going to be turned over. It's Timm. Timm swings to Sailing. They have a timeout called. And Beard's going to take a full timeout. Minute and 27 seconds left in the fourth. Beard still, I believe, has 2 timeouts, so he's got a few to take. But Williamsville 13-point lead, still running clock. We'll take a quick break here on the Williamsville Wire. Elite Lawn Care, Wade Moeller at Westtown Ford and Top Tier Springfield are your sponsors, and we will be back. Welcome back to the Williamsville Wire. The Bullets have the ball on the Auburn baseline as they look to get an inbound in. If they do, they're likely going to be met with a foul. Bullets have a play here. Sailing coming around. He'll get it into him, and Sailing, he's got to get away here. He's got to get away. They're not fouling him. They will to Bodine, and now he is fouled, and now 2 shots are going to be coming up.
I think they should have waited on the foul there to try and get it over, or see if Williamsville can't get it over the half-court line. They elect to foul there, stops the clock at 1:20, and Bodine, biggest free throws of his life so far.
You know, I don't even remember the last time that Williamsville beat Auburn. It's been a little while. It's been at least quite 4 or 5 years.
Has it?
I think it has. Maybe they didn't win last year. I don't think they won the year before.
Gotta have these.
And in the COVID year, it's probably been at least three years. I know they haven't won since, Bodine hits the second, so misses the first, hits the second.
How many has he got?
I think 14? 14, yeah. Over to Carter. Carter pulls from 3. They need it. They don't have it, and Sailing pulls it down, and he's got to get away from some Auburn defenders. He will into Brecken Thomas. A minute left, and he's fouled by Cooper Carter, and Thomas back to the line.
That's probably close to your ball game, Nathan. 14-point lead. You make these 2, you're up 16 with a minute to go. I don't even think they foul if they miss their shot here.
Thomas at the line, hits it.
Beard's starting to feel it.
Yeah, I think he is.
The crowd's starting to feel it. I mean, this is what a win.
Yeah.
Another notable thing is Williamsville has 1 timeout left, so they decide to use it and get trapped in the backcourt. They have options.
Hunley shot no good, and Sailing will come away with it, and he'll give it up to Thomas. Thomas will pull it back down, and he'll kick it back out to Braden Sailing. Sailing back to Thomas, left wing, driving in around some defenders. It's no good. Don't
shoot the ball.
I don't like it either.
What are you doing?
Dobson into the front court. 40 seconds left. Dobson through some contact, and he gets the layup. Clock's still running. Clock is still running. Thomas in. He'll give it to Bodine. Bodine swinging to Sailing. 26 seconds. I don't even think Auburn should foul.
If you're going to swing it, then
wow, what a win. It's huge. It's not our last ever game, baby.
And the Bullets are moving on. How about it? They're heading to the sectional final to play Alton Marquette.
Without Sailing for most of the second half with foul trouble, they still get it done, and they win by 13.
How about it?
What
the Bullets are
win.
hot, and they're moving on. They got a date with the sectional final for the first time in a number of years.
A long time. Not that I can remember.
I certainly don't remember.
Wow.
I'm sure it's happened, but the Bullets look for their first sectional title since 1997. They look to make history on Friday at 7 o'clock. Williamsville Wire will be here, and we'll have live coverage right where we're sitting. So join us 7 o'clock Friday. Williamsville Wire continues, and we still have a career in announcing. How about it?
One more at least.
One more at least, and we'll take that any day. One more at a time. Once again, signing out. Stay wired in throughout the postseason.